Stop assuming the raise you heard about will show up as extra spendable cash. One overlooked detail can quietly shrink it before it ever hits your bank account. In a minute, I'll show you how to estimate your real monthly change, not the headline. This matters if you're on Social Security now, applying soon, or helping a parent who is. Before we get into the numbers, hit subscribe so you stay protected and a step ahead. This channel is your early warning system for benefit changes, payment surprises, and scams. If you'd rather verify first and stress less later, subscribe and keep this in your corner. Now let's walk through it together, calmly and clearly. I'm not here to hype you up or talk you into a decision you didn't ask for. My job is to make this feel navigable, even if you hate paperwork and fine print. By the end, you'll know what's at risk, what can change your net deposit, and what to check. And I'll point out one small line most people skip that explains why their increase looks wrong. Here's what's at risk if you don't understand the raise: your monthly budget and your peace. You might commit to a new bill, a new rent amount, or a new payment plan too early. Or you might panic thinking you were shorted when the deduction changed instead. Staying to the end matters because the last steps are the ones that prevent costly mistakes. First, let's define what a raise usually means in Social Security terms. Most increases come through an annual adjustment meant to keep up with living costs. It's not a bonus check you can count on forever by itself. It becomes part of your baseline. That baseline matters because future adjustments build on whatever your new base becomes. Now, historic can mean a lot of things, and you should be cautious with big labels. Sometimes it's bigger than recent years. Sometimes it's big compared to typical inflation. What you can rely on is this. If you're eligible, your payment amount is updated automatically. You don't pay a fee to activate it, and you don't need a stranger's help to receive it. Quick attention. Reset. The most important number is not the gross benefit. The number that controls your daily life is what lands in your account after deductions. So we're going to separate the raise into two layers: the new benefit and the new take-home. That's where the one small detail most people miss starts to show up. Let's do a clean, simple way to estimate your new monthly amount. Take your current monthly benefit before deductions and multiply it by the adjustment rate you're told. If you don't know the rate, don't guess. Wait for your official notice or your official account update. Then compare that estimate to your actual deposit, because deductions can move at the same time. Example 1. With easy math and normal numbers. Say your benefit before deductions is $1,600 a month and the adjustment is 4%. 4% of $1,600 is $64 because 1% is $16 and you multiply by 4. So your new benefit estimate becomes $1,664 before any Medicare or tax withholding changes. Now here's the catch. Your deposit might not rise by $64. If your Medicare premium deduction rises by, say, $15, your take-home increase is closer to $49. And if you chose tax withholding, that withholding may scale with the new payment too. That's why people feel like the raise disappeared when it actually got divided up. Do you want a quick follow-up video where you tell me your before deduction amount, and I'll show the exact math pathway you can use to sanity check your deposit? Let's talk about where you'll see the change, because timing confuses a lot of people. Your benefit system updates on a schedule, and your payment date depends on your setup. Some people see the change earlier in the cycle, others later, and that's normal. What matters is that you check the official message tied to your account, not a viral clip. Attention reset. Don't judge your raise by 1 month if something else changed. A premium update, a withholding choice, or a correction can cause a one-time weird month. The best check is to compare two things: your new benefit line and your new deduction lines. Those lines explain almost every "why is my deposit different" situation. Now, here's the second place people get tripped up: Medicare. Many beneficiaries have Medicare premiums taken out automatically from Social Security. So if premiums change at the same time as the adjustment, it can cloud what you're seeing. You need to separate "benefit went up" from "premium also changed," because both can be true. And this is where I'll tease that small detail again, in a new way. On your notice, there's usually a line that shows your benefit amount and your deductions. Most people scan for the big number and stop reading right there. But one line underneath explains the net deposit, and it's the line that decides your real life. Now let's address taxes, because this is where people get blindsided. Some Social Security benefits can be taxable depending on your total household situation. I'm not going to throw thresholds at you if you can't verify them right now. Instead, treat it like this. If your overall income is near a cutoff, a raise can push you across it. Here's a gentle way to think about it without getting lost. Taxes aren't usually taken out automatically unless you asked for withholding, so you might feel fine monthly, then feel the hit later if you owe at tax time. If you're unsure, ask a qualified tax professional how withholding or estimated payments should work for you. Attention reset. A bigger check can create a bigger surprise if you never plan for it. That doesn't mean you should fear the raise. It means you should set guardrails. Even a small monthly set-aside can prevent stress later. And that's the difference between being helped by the increase and being confused by it. Example 2. Using a couples-style household budget with simple math. Say, household A brings in $12,400 a month from Social Security and $600 from a small pension. That's $3,000 total coming in. If their Social Security portion rises 5%, that piece adds $120. Now their income is about $3,120s, but if Medicare deductions rise $25 total, the take-home gain is closer to $95. That $95 can still change your month in real ways if you assign it intentionally. It can cover 2 utility overages, or a prescription gap, or a small emergency cushion. But if you mentally spent $120 and only received $95, you feel cheated. So always budget the net increase, not the headline increase. Now we need a myth versus truth moment, because misinformation spreads fast on this topic. Myth. If you heard historic raise, it means everyone gets the same big dollar amount. Truth, adjustments are usually a percentage, so the dollar change depends on your starting benefit. 2 people can both get the same percentage increase and still see very different dollar results. Attention reset. Don't compare your increase to your neighbor's increase. Compare your new benefit to your own old benefit, and then compare your deposit to your own deposit. That's the only comparison that matters for your budget, and it keeps you from falling for rumors that try to stir up anger or fear. Now let's talk about people who are not collecting yet because your angle matters. If you're approaching claiming age, an increase can change the feeling of your decision, but it doesn't change the core rule. Claiming earlier often means a smaller monthly amount for life. So the question isn't, did it go up? But, what does my lifetime picture look like? If you're deciding when to claim, your best move is to slow down and run scenarios. Scenario 1. What if you claim as soon as you can and live on that amount for many years? Scenario 2. What if you wait and your monthly amount is larger, but you receive fewer total checks? The right answer depends on health, work plans, household income, and risk tolerance. Attention reset. Anyone pushing you to claim right now based on a headline is not your advisor. Real guidance is patient and customized. If you're unsure, you verify your numbers through official channels and talk to a qualified professional. No one on a random call or text should be steering your retirement timing. Now, disability recipients and lower income assistance recipients often ask the same question. Does this apply to me too? Sometimes adjustments touch multiple programs, sometimes they don't. Your safest approach is to check your own official notice for your program type and your updated amount. And if you receive more than one type of benefit, one increase can affect another piece. That leads into the next small detail tease with fresh wording. If you receive 2 different benefits, the system may rebalance them when one changes. So you might see one line go up and another line shift. Most people miss that interaction, then assume someone made an error when it's actually a recalculation. Do you want me to make a checklist-style video for your specific situation? Retired, disability, spousal, survivor, so you can match your notice to the right category with confidence? Let's get into the common mistakes, because this is where money leaks happen. Not because you're careless, but because the system is layered and people talk fast. I'm going to list the mistakes in a kind way, then tell you the clean fix for each. This section alone can save you hours of stress and a lot of back and forth. Mistake 1. Watching a clip that promises an exact dollar increase and assuming it's yours. The fix is to treat exact figures as maybe until your own benefit line updates. Mistake 2. Budgeting for the gross benefit increase instead of the deposit increase. The fix is to check deductions first, then budget the net like it's the only real number. Mistake 3. Thinking you must sign up or confirm to receive the raise. The fix is to remember, legitimate updates are applied automatically if you're eligible. Mistake 4. Giving personal information to someone who claims they can speed it up. The fix is to never share codes, never share full bank details, and never trust caller ID. Mistake 5. Clicking a link from a text or email that looks official. The fix is to avoid unknown links entirely and go through official channels you initiate. Mistake 6. Ignoring your notice because you assume it's just repetitive paperwork. The fix is to read the benefit line and the deduction lines, especially the one most people skip. Attention reset. If you do nothing else, do not let excitement override security. Scammers love big benefit headlines because they create urgency and distraction. They may claim you must verify information, pay a fee, or confirm a deposit method. You don't. You call back using the official number you find through official channels, not the number that called you. Now, if this is you, I want you to feel seen, because different viewers need different next steps. If you're already receiving benefits and money is tight each month, your focus is net deposit and deductions. If you're near retirement and unsure when to claim, your focus is scenario planning, not hype. If you help a parent or spouse manage finances, your focus is fraud prevention and reading the notice together. Here's another, if this is you, with 3 clear situations so you can self-identify. If you rely on Social Security for most of your bills, you need to treat the raise like a tool, not a lottery. If you have other income sources, you need to watch for tax planning issues and premium changes. If you've had a recent life change, like retirement, widowhood, or reduced work, you may need to ask about review options through official channels. Attention reset. The system is not out to trick you, but it also won't slow down to explain itself. That's why we use a method. Identify the benefit change, identify the deduction change, then confirm the net. When you do it in that order, the confusion drops fast. And now it's time to pay off that small detail I've been teasing. On most benefit notices, there's a section where your new benefit amount is shown. Right below it, there's a breakdown of what's being taken out, like premiums or withholding. Then there's the number that actually hits your account, sometimes labeled as the payment you receive. That last number is the one people skip, and it explains almost every "where did my raise go" moment. Here's the practical action. When your updated info arrives, don't read it like a headline. Read it like a receipt. Old benefit versus new benefit, then old deductions versus new deductions, then old net versus new net. If you can do that comparison, you can spot whether it's a real issue or just an expected offset. Do you want a printable style worksheet I can read out loud in a future video so you can pause and fill in your old and new numbers without feeling rushed? Now let's talk about what to do if the numbers truly don't match your reality. First, give it a little time if your update window is still in motion. Second, confirm you're looking at the correct month and the correct payment type. Third, contact the agency through official routes you initiate, and keep notes on what you asked and what you were told. Attention reset. Never troubleshoot your benefits through a stranger. A scammer's favorite move is to help you fix a problem you didn't have. They may ask for a code, a login, or a one-time confirmation number. Those codes are keys. If you hand over the key, they can walk right into your account. Let's also address the emotional side, because it affects decisions. When prices rise, a benefit increase can feel like relief, but also like it's still not enough. Both feelings can be true at the same time. So instead of asking, "Is this a lot?" ask, "What does this change allow me to stabilize this month?" If you want the increase to actually improve your life, give it a job. Pick one pressure point: groceries, medications, utilities, debt, transportation, or emergency savings. Assign the net increase to that category first, before lifestyle upgrades. That one move turns a confusing update into a real stability boost. Attention reset. You don't need perfection, you need a plan that survives real life. Even if your net increase is modest, consistency is powerful. A small automatic transfer into a savings cushion can prevent future high-interest debt. And you're not behind for needing the money. You're being smart by directing it. Now we're going to do a "do this today" mini checklist, but as normal sentences. Check your most recent benefit deposit and write down the net amount you actually received. Locate your before deduction benefit amount from your last notice or statement and keep it nearby. When your update arrives, compare benefit to benefit, deductions to deductions, and net to net in that order. Also today, make one security rule for yourself and your household. Decide that you will never share verification codes, never click unknown links, and never trust caller ID. If you get a call about benefits, you hang up and call back using the official number you find yourself. And if you help a parent, tell them this rule out loud and put it somewhere visible. Attention reset, this is how you stay in control. Calm math, slow decisions, strong boundaries. You don't need insider info. You need a repeatable method. And once you have it, headlines stop pushing you around. Now let's recap what you should remember in clear terms. A Social Security raise usually changes your benefit baseline, but your deposit may rise by less. That's because deductions like premiums or withholding can move at the same time. Two people can hear the same adjustment and still see different dollar changes because it's often percentage-based. And the line most people skip is the net payment line, the one that explains your real deposit. If you're already receiving benefits, your next step is to verify your updated lines and budget the net increase. If you're not receiving yet, your next step is to run scenarios and avoid rushed decisions based on hype. If you manage benefits for someone else, your next step is fraud prevention and reading notices together. That's how you turn news into clarity and clarity into action. Here's my final warning, and I'm saying it to protect you. Headlines create perfect conditions for scams. The moment you hear big raise, assume criminals heard it too, and they're already dialing. But here's the hopeful line that gives control back to you. If you verify through official channels and follow the net number method, you can't be easily shaken or fooled. So let me ask you this. Do you want to be the person who reacts to the news or the person who checks the facts and stays ahead?